Welcome back, guys, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, along with the Terrible Towel. Now, guys, if you hear the excitement in my voice, you know it has to be because of Monday night's performance. Overall, all right, we're going to talk about some things I didn't like, but overall, that finish and the way Michael Vick put that fourth quarter together and the last drive and Le'Veon Bell's determination, you have to be excited by that as a Steelers fan. I mean, hey, even as a football fan, what a finish. What a gutsy call by Mike Tomlin and the boys. So many things good to talk about in terms of that fourth quarter. So let's get right into it. We'll talk about the things of concern first. First and foremost, let's be honest. The first three quarters, Michael Vick just did not look comfortable. You know, I was even saying myself, you know what? Maybe we should go with Landry Jones because Landry Jones at least knows the system. And you guys know I'm not a big fan of Landry Jones. But at that juncture, I figured, hey, man, if Vick is not getting it done, you got to go with the next guy. That's why you have backups. All right? Vick composes himself later on, but early on, he just didn't look comfortable. You know, and I understand when you're learning a new system, and, you know, some people that don't really understand the ins and outs and all of the preparation and all that goes into being a pro athlete. You know, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to just come in, even if you are a veteran, and think you're going to run an offense in that little bit of time. He didn't, you know, he wasn't there for any training camp. So I definitely give him a slight pass to that regard. But some of the things that he was doing early on was just quarterback stuff. Bad throws, throwing into traffic, almost threw a couple interceptions. Those type of things, in my opinion, is not necessarily system-based. Now, what it could be timing. Could be a timing issue with the receivers. I understand that. Still hasn't had a lot of time to prepare. So I'm not going to beat him up about it, but at that point in the game, I'm looking at it like, man, we need to get Landry Jones to come in here. Maybe he can control tempo because the game was in our grasp. You know, I tweeted that out. I said, this game is just waiting for us to win it. You know, we were doing enough on defense. Phillip Rivers did get hot a little later on, but we were doing enough to win the game. So I was like, just give us a little offense. All right, so let's talk about, you know, things I didn't like real quick. The way we defended Antonio Gates. Now, I understand who Antonio Gates is. Let's not kid ourselves. He's definitely a future Hall of Famer. But I just feel like when you're dealing with a tight end of that nature, just like when we played New England and had to deal with Gronk, you got to get a body on him. You know, it's too much of the free releases. You know, and when you play football, you understand everything is a calculated risk. You're either going to jam this guy or press this guy or play off coverage on this guy or push this guy inside. It's all a calculated risk, even when you blitz. But I feel like you got to go with the guy who's the biggest threat. In my opinion, it was Antonio Gates. So get some pressure on him. You know, at least try to disrupt his timing. You might not be able to press him, you know, and hold him, but you can disrupt his timing. That's what I was looking for. And we don't do that very well. You know, tight ends are something that seems to give us problems from time to time. You know, I'm very concerning. Now, you know, I think about that because, you know, I think once Kansas City comes in, you know, I think we'll be able to possibly win that game. But it comes to mind because Kelsey is another guy that I'm sure is going to be a big target for them now that Jamal Charles is out. You know, not trying to skip ahead in weeks or anything. I'm just looking, you know, ahead mentally, just thinking about that. Back to my point with the tight end. So we got to get that under control. For the most part, we play good defense. We got pressure. You know, with our ends, Stephon Tuitt and Cam Hayward are playing outstanding football, man. And, you know, when is the last time that we've had two solid ends on the outside able to create pressure in our system? You know, we're more accustomed to the linebackers, you know, in a nickel package or what have you, being up on the line, you know, your James Harrison and like, you know, when Lamar Woodley was doing his thing. We're more accustomed to that. And we even have that as well because as you can see, Bud Dupree is showing up as a valuable, you know, asset to that defense. He has, you know, I believe it's his third sack, maybe the fourth. You know, I may have lost count, but here's another sack he gets in that game. You know, this guy Bud Dupree is turning out to be what we think he could be. You know, of course, he still has room to grow. But Stephon Tuitt, man, and Cam Hayward at the point of attack, doing their thing. So many times you saw Cam Hayward push his guy into Phillip Rivers. I mean, we were killing that offensive line, getting penalties called on them. We did a great job with that. But of course, you know, it's the NFL. The other team gets paid as well. Your defense is not going to hold the entire game. You know, it's pretty much a bend but don't break mentality in the NFL, because you also rely on your offense to help you out when you do get key stops. And that's how it balances out. But if your offense is not doing anything, then that's when the defense will get exposed at some point, because like I said, man, they're not going to hold the NFL offense the entire game. And we did a pretty good job at getting stops when we needed to get stops. We played great. Now, the numbers might not show that good as far as overall, because Phillip Rivers was passing it. But if you look at total statistics, points allowed and things like that, we did a great job for the most part, you know, controlling the game. It kept us in the game. Without that defensive play, we wouldn't have won the game, because let's not forget, Antoine Blake comes up big with the pick 6. You know, that's 7 points that we got from that. You know, you take that away, where does that leave us? Our offense started going a little too late. Le'Veon Bell had a big game, but the thing is, because nothing else was working, it was times we had to just keep running him and keep running him. You give the defense a chance to key on him, you know, eventually they're going to be able to get some stops on him. What saddens me definitely is that Antonio Brown was unable to keep his streak going. And, you know, of course, part of that is because he doesn't have Big Ben there. You know, I'm not taking anything away from Vic, but come on, let's be honest. You know, Antonio Brown and Big Ben are on the same page. There would have been times where he checks out of a run, throw a quick pass, you know, a quick out to him. Things like that get him involved in the game. You know, and he did come up with a nice catch, you know, a nice gain on one of those catches that he did get. But it's very, you know, very sad to see the fact that the streak comes to an end. But it is what it is. All right, now let's talk about some other things, man. The offense got it going. You know, maybe Vic hit his stride in that fourth quarter. He looked like vintage Vic. And I would say more of like a 2010 with the Eagles Vic. Not as fast, of course, as he was with Atlanta, you know, which was, we know how things was back then. He would have definitely scored on that play. But now Vic is he's more smart with his run. That was the first scramble of the night. It came at a great time. And I mean, I thought he was going to score. It looked like he might have had a block to the outside, but he, you know, he chose not to, you know, take a chance. He just went down to keep from fumbling the ball. Smart play on his part. Picked up 24 yards. Beautiful execution on that drive, man. He hits a nice pass to Haywood Bay. He also, you know, on that next play, the nice pass, I mean, beautiful pass to Heath Miller in a great spot. Thought Heath was going to get in. He gets popped in the head, gives us the penalty, and that gives us a better chance to go in and get the score. And then what about that call? Gutsy call by anyone that was involved with that call to run that Wildcat. Put the ball in the hands of Le'Veon Bell, and Le'Veon fights his way into the end zone. This dude is the truth, man. Point blank period. Whether you are still a fan or not, you have to recognize Le'Veon Bell is the truth. Period. Love what this guy is showing, man. It just looks like he just continues to produce. I love what I'm seeing. Now also, let's not forget to talk about the long, deep pass to Marcus Wheaton. Great move by Marcus Wheaton. Was able to clearly get open. Nice pass by Vic. That's one thing Vic can do. So look for that, man. Look for that when Martavis Bryant comes back. Vic can definitely throw the deep ball. He has enough arm to get it out there. So if you're winning your battle, you'll be able to run to that ball. But what I love the most about that is what I heard after the fact. That Big Ben called that play. This is what I'm talking about. That's a team effort. Ben is not even playing on the field. He's still able to be effective. And did you see how excited he was after the touchdown? And Vic came over. You know, Ben did one of these numbers. Yes, yes, yes. And he hugged Vic. That's what I'm talking about, man. Great to see that kind of stuff. Now, excuse me. I don't know, guys, you know, where we go from here. You know, it's just one game, but that was a huge emotional lift for the team. Vic needed that win. He did a great job for the most part. Way to finish. That's why I got to give him his credit. So I'm not ready to yank him just yet. You know, he may have hit his groove a little bit. That was big time right there. Showing what he's able to do in that fourth quarter. My hat's off to him. That showed me that you have a chance to maintain the ship until Ben comes back. Now, guys, the sad part of this video, we got the Arizona Cardinals are coming into town next week. This is going to be a test. Remember what I said, man, when I looked at the schedule as far as when Ben was going to be out. I said the Cardinals and Cincinnati are the two games that we're going to have to be on all our P's and Q's. You know, it's the NFL. I'm not trying to discredit the Chargers, but they gave us a great game. You know, I said it was, you know, we could possibly lose going out there, but we pulled it out. And I'm not trying to discredit the Chiefs. But, you know, the Chiefs are banged up. You know, no Jamal Charles. They're not really playing good football. I think if we put that same defense out there, I think we can win that game. You know, it shouldn't be a reason why we couldn't win that game. But Arizona and Cincy, it's going to be the test for us. Now, this could be the emotional, you know, lift that we need carrying us into this tough game. Who knows? You know, let's not get it twisted. If we can give that type of defensive effort and we can get the offense going a little early, we can play with anybody, I feel. You know, I feel we can play with Arizona, but it's going to be a challenge because they got a talented team on both sides of the ball. They got Bruce Arians, and we're very familiar with him coaching. They got a solid nucleus right there, man. So we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's. So I'll be very interested to see what type of offensive plan we have against them, because we're not going to be able to do the same thing that we did to the Chargers. No way. Bruce Arians and the guys are too smart for that. So we'll see. So I look forward to the upcoming challenge. I think that's all I really wanted to mention at the moment. Yeah, the defense, we talked about that. Defensively, man, we look pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. We look like the arrow is pointed up, like Coach Tomlin likes to say. I'm pretty satisfied at what I'm seeing from the defense. I think, excuse me again, I think we look like a team that's definitely going to be able to become a nice, solid defense for the remainder of the season. Now, here's the thing. I still want to know what's going on with Brandon Boykins. I'm just curious. I love Ross Cockrell, man. Cockrell is a dog. I like how he plays. He's very solid out there. And I'm not, you know, I'm not mad at the fact that he's getting the playing time because he's showing himself. Got a pick, you know, last week or what have you. He's showing himself. Love the way he plays. Did a solid job, you know, for the most part. Now, like I said, Antoine Blake is a guy that I would like. Let him play inside. I don't want him outside. You know, my dream lineup would be, we got Cockrell, we got Big Play Willie Gay, and then Brandon Boykin in the nickel. That might be a nasty lineup. And then maybe when we go into more of a sub-package type of situation, with multiple DBs out there, you bring Antoine Blake in there. And you know, maybe let Antoine Blake also come in and play on run support, you know, run downs, first down, things like that. Or when you think a run is coming, then let him go out there and do his thing. He's a pretty good tackler. He does miss tackles at times, but he's aggressive. So playing the run kind of reminds me of like Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark wasn't going to give you too much in coverage, but he's going to come up and knock your head off. You know, I can see Antoine Blake being that type of guy. So that's what I want to see going forward. I'm curious to know what's going on with Brandon Boyd, because I'm not sure. I don't know why he's not on the field, but I trust the guys, you know, the coaching staff. Obviously, the defense is playing pretty well, so I'm not going to question it. But let's keep an eye on that, man, as we continue to go through the season. So, all right, guys, there it is, man. Great win. I'm very excited. This towel was swinging. Very excited about what I saw, man, and it gives me hope that we can at least win a couple games. I would say at least 2 games I'm expecting while Ben is out. And maybe, you never know, maybe we knock off the Cardinals and then get on a roll. Who knows? So, all right, guys, definitely leave your thoughts. Leave your comments. I promise you, it won't hurt you to hit the like button. So, here we are, guys. Here we go. And let me know what you think. Once again, guys, thanks for coming by. And if you want to interact with me live, head on over to Sim Standard Radio every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, along with Smitty and Azure Effect. The call-in number for the show is down in the description. Now, of course, for more content, go ahead and click the link above. And before you go, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Alright guys, until next time, lights out.